Welcome, brother. Today we're going to be addressing where we draw the line, especially for the single brothers, between healthy flirting and dangerous fantasizing, which could lead to a relapse. Welcome. I'm JK Amazy, founder of Elevated Recovery and head coach at Reboot coaching systems. We help high-performing professionals, business owners, entrepreneurs, and leaders discreetly end your out-of-control behavior with pornography and masturbation in 90 days. Let's get into the question. This brother says, "Hey JK, I've been doing great so far in the Porn Reboot program, but I want to know how to discern between healthy flirting and dangerous fantasizing. I'm currently talking to a bunch of women, but not sure how to pursue things. Getting too sexual over text may cause me to relapse. Sometimes I'm not sure whether I'm leaning too far into the realm of my compulsive behavior or if it's simply a genuine interest in a woman. How do I navigate those nuances?" Do you ever find yourself in a similar situation to this brother? Like, are you concerned about where the line between healthy flirting and dangerous fantasizing lies? Now, it may not be as complicated as you're trying to make it out to be, okay? Here's the thing. In this brother's question, I don't see any nuances, to be honest. This brother mentions that he's talking to a bunch of women and he's worried about getting too sexual because of the risk of relapse. If flirting with women over text puts him in a situation that may lead to relapse, that should be a very, very clear boundary. You shouldn't be texting sexually with women if you feel that it could result in a slip. It simply means you're too early in your reboot. Now, I want to point out two more important things in his question, right? Those two are, first of all, what is the purpose of flirting with a ton of women? And secondly, why does flirting over text equate to things getting sexual? You know, flirting with a lot of women, let's talk about that. The first thing I recommend is getting clear about why you are talking to a lot of different women, right? I do want to mention that I see nothing wrong with having casual sexual partners. I went through a phase like that myself. I also think it's risky to pursue relationships like this too early in your reboot, but there's a place for it when you have more control over your behavior. But it doesn't sound like that's what's going on here, because this brother says that he's talking to a lot of women, flirting with a lot of women, not dating a lot of women. So what's the purpose of talking to them? You know, is he trying to learn how to become more intimate with women, which should be your primary priority when dating while you're rebooting? Or is he just looking for sex? Or is he medicating something by flirting? Is that releasing dopamine? And since he's mentioned that he's worried about things getting too sexual, I'm guessing he's looking for sex. Again, it's okay to have casual sex once your brain has rewired, or even as you're going through the rebooting process, as long as you have certain boundaries. If you're worried about relapsing because you're flirting with somebody, your brain probably hasn't rewired yet. It might be a better idea for you to focus on building reboot capital in other areas of your life for now, instead of flirting with women. Now let's talk about the texting part. He also mentioned that his concerns about texting getting sexual. Now, while texting doesn't necessarily equate to things getting heated, that is something more common with, flirting in today's world. That's just kind of the way it goes. Sexting and sending explicit pictures have become the norm among both men and women today when they're interested in each other. And this creates a problem for single men who struggle with an out-of-control sexual behavior. So you can't conduct yourself like everyone else, brother. Remember, I've said that you're not a civilian. It doesn't matter what everyone else is doing. Learning to control your behavior should be your priority. And this means that sexting, sending dick pics, and receiving naked pictures from women, this is not an option for you. You do not need that to even get into a sexual relationship. I've been in a relationship for over 12 years. Actually, now it's 13 years. And neither of us has ever sent an explicit picture to the other one. I think it's only happened once, literally. And I assure you, it's not because we're conservative people, but it's because I set a hard boundary early on that it's not something for me. And she was cool with it. She was like, yeah, you know what? Actually, that's not my preference. Even if you've been in a relationship with your partner for a long time, explicit texts are a slippery slope. Naked pictures and videos of your wife or your girlfriend still count as pornography. It doesn't matter that you see her naked all the time. It's the fact that it's a digital image that gets you stimulated. So Texting isn't inherently sexual, but oftentimes it crosses the line into that these days. And if you can't keep your text conversations conservative, then you need to shift your priority to working on yourself more. It is so important to focus on building intimacy instead. Your porn use and your compulsive sexual behavior destroyed your understanding of intimacy. Pornography is the furthest thing from intimacy. It doesn't portray the true nature of intimate sexual relationships. And building intimacy is an important part of the porn reboot process. It won't happen when you are focused on sleeping with women in the early stages of your reboots, right? So it does take time, it takes energy and attention to build intimacy. It doesn't really come from a one-night stand, although those can be lots of fun. The more you spend time listening to the women you're talking to, actually hearing what they say, getting to know them, you'll build a stronger relationship and a healthier one as well. Now, if you don't feel like you're able to build intimacy just yet, that's okay. It takes time and it takes practice. You'll learn to build these kinds of relationships the longer you stick with your reboot. So for now, my suggestion is, brothers, if you are not in our Porn Reboot Facebook group, this is a great place to be because we talk about dating, we talk about intimacy, we talk about sex. It's a private group. No one's going to see what your posts are. And it's a great place to be around brothers who are following the same system. None of that no-fab bullshit. You won't hear any like semen retention stuff. No. They are men who are trying to understand this system and end their out-of-control behavior with pornography and masturbation permanently. I'm JK, your brother in this struggle. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Whenever you're ready, here are 4 ways that Porn Reboot can help you out for free. The first way is to subscribe to our channel and make sure you click on the notification bell to get a new video every other day. The second way is to get a copy of the free book, Confessions of a Porn Addict, 7 Secrets of Porn-Free Men. You'll learn about my personal struggle and the lessons I've learned over a decade, as well as strategies for putting together your porn reboot plan and ending your compulsive behavior with pornography or masturbation. So click on the link in the description below this video. The third way is if you're not sure where to start, but you'd like to learn more about my team and I, if you'd like to spend time with like-minded professionals, entrepreneurs, business owners, guys who work in sales, consulting, or high-level jobs, men who are controlling their behavior, then join our free and confidential group, the Porn Reboot group on Facebook. There's also a link to join in the description below this video. And finally, if you need help right now because you have a burning issue, your behavior with pornography is hurting you mentally, you're about to lose your relationship, you want to live up to your potential, you want to be an authentic man and free yourself from shame, guilt, and underachieving, click on the link in the description below this video that says free coaching call, or visit elevatedrecovery.org and click on the link which says book a call.